Welcome to the Comedy Report. I am your broadcaster, Dirty Folks. I appreciate y'all checking it out. It's going to be a really quick show. So, here's the thing. A few days ago, the Colorado Supreme Court took Donald Trump off the ballot because they said that he was basically a criminal, and by Colorado state law, a criminal can't run for office. Here's the thing. Number one, even that bill is based on state crime, not federal crime, and he didn't. Trump had no crime in Colorado, none at all, right? Number two, he has not been convicted of a crime. He's been accused, he has not been convicted of anything, not one single solitary thing. And number three, they were interpreting the law based on what happened on what was it, July 6th? I mean, January 6th, um, with the insurrection. That Trump isn't even uh like accused of, right? Like in the news. He was accused on the news. He's accused in the court of popular opinion. So there was absolutely no reason for Colorado to take him off the ballot. If Georgia has not taken him off the ballot, if New York didn't take him off the ballot, Colorado certainly should not have. And they were trying to use the Colorado as a precedent. I need you guys to like and sub as y'all come in. It's in your heart. Donate. But I need you guys to listen. This is very important. I need you guys to listen. I saw this clip on MSNBC, very liberal news, because once again, you guys really don't have an opinion. People have to give you your opinion. I haven't watched this, but I know it's going to be some bull, and I'll tell you why. What you look at right here is, can I make this bigger? I would like to make this bigger. Okay, cool. What you see here are the blacks. What you see here are the blacks. For those who know me on my other channel, black is for women, gays, and felons. Everybody could be the black, right? Black, except heterosexual, tawny, and swarthy men. Somehow they don't get to be black. They act white, they talk white, whatever the case may be. But Karen's a new black, gay is a new black. Everything's a new black. You know what I'm saying? Except the original black, right? Now these migrants are going to be new black because they're the disenfranchised. They're the new minority group. They use black as a misnomer to do all type of bullshit. Now, I ain't monetized yet. I can still curse. Now, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. When they really want to get their point across, they find a double minority, right? So you have a triple minority here, right? This is an all-black panel, by the way. This is a triple minority. Black, woman, gay. A gay black woman, triple minority. She's a trifecta. She is perfect. The only thing she is not is a felon. If she was a felon, she would have hit the all the part. But she's still 3 out of 4. She's, and she gonna say some silly shit because she a girl. I ain't even heard this before, but I know she is. Then you had Chris. He's questionably gay. I'm leaning toward that he's gay. And then you have this obviously he not even a boomer. He just likable. This boy is wild. A gay fat black man. So everything they're about to say is about to be some of the most liberal stuff you've ever heard in your life. It's going to be super duper liberal. But let's kick it off. So they're about to talk about Trump being taken off the ballot in Colorado, and the Supreme Court, the United States Supreme Court, having to come back and review whether or not Colorado got it right. So let's check this out. Nowhere to help. Volume.
And we know this Supreme Court has been imperious in what it thinks it is its business to weigh in on. What's your first thought about this headed to SCOTUS?
Why do you think the conservatives would overturn Colorado? I mean, woo! States' rights, brother! I mean, isn't that what the conservatives usually look? Of course, the Supreme Court is going to weigh in and likely overturn the Colorado State Supreme Court's interpretation of Colorado state law because the conservatives on the Supreme Court, who usually go on and on and on about states' rights, are hypocrites, and they are comfortable being hypocrites, and they will.
Correct.
Let's pause right there. I'm gonna let little Bati boy keep going, but here's the thing: is it hypocrisy for the Supreme Court to govern the states to make sure the states are legitimate under the legislative branch, or is it hypocrisy for a state to take a candidate off the ballot just because they don't like them? Think about that. Think about that. Quick story. I'm gonna go back to that. Quick story. So once upon a time, these same Democrats, these same liberals, but they didn't call themselves Democrats yet. These same Democrats took another president off the ballot that was determined to help black people. I don't know. He's not a well known president. Maybe you heard of him. His name was Abraham Lincoln, right? At the time, they called themselves Federalists. But what they did was they did not like Abraham Lincoln saying that he would stop slavery. So they took him off the ballot in 12 states. He won regardless. Just like Trump could win without Colorado, to be honest with you. But he won regardless. It is ironic that anytime you want to go against the World Reserve Bank, anytime you want to go against the gays, anytime you want to, because the gays are just a misnomer. Only 4% of the nation is gay. 4%. Why do they have this much influence? Thank you, bro. Why they have this much influence? Makes no sense. However, that's because they're the face for another more nefarious plan. Blacks are also the face for more nefarious plans. And when they can't get a man to do it, they get a gay man or a black woman. And this is what we're seeing right now. So, you guys need to understand that even when you know it's a lie, the greatest lies are the biggest lies because you can't believe that the lie is that magnificent. So you just assume it has to be the truth because how could a lie be that big? Like Santa Claus don't exist. Like how could a lie be that big? Like Santa Claus don't exist. But what they're going to do is they're going to continue to lie because their whole job is to take down democracy. That is what communists do. That's what the Black Panthers do. That's what all these pro blacks want to do. Take down the government ass niggas in the freest, at one time freest, until the boomers got in power because they the fucking communist class. But in the most one of the countries with the greatest caste system in the world. A place where you can come from nothing and become something. A country that has never seen war within its borders. You've never, no Mexico war, no Canadian war. Not since this has been the United States of America. When it were the colonies, maybe so. Since the United States of America, except that little skirmish they had for the border of Texas. No Mexican war. No, we have safe four-way border. You know how comfortable you have to be to let women talk with clothes on and let gays say anything about what warriors do? You motherfuckers are soft. Y'all done suck dick all the way to softness. And the men and the women, y'all done suck dick to softness. So now we have to listen to these pseudo-philosophical cocksuckers tell us about how it's wrong not to punish somebody just because you don't like them. Think about that. This is the mentality that makes single mothers beat their children for the same thing that she let them get away with the day before. Yesterday it was cute when he was running up to people like, bitch. Now today you in front of social work and here I'm, bitch. Now you want to beat the kid ass. I don't know where you got it from. You think it's okay to discipline people based on how you feel this particular day. Even communist nations haven't practiced this level of communism. Not the USSR, not China, not Korea. The countries that call themselves communists have never let this amount of dysfunction happen. And you let these communist groups come over here under the auspice of free. Anyway, but if they gonna lie, they gotta keep riding with it, man. They gonna lie, they gotta fight on that lie, man.
If it's a lie, then we fight on that lie. But we gotta fight.
Be hypocritical in this situation, and they will overturn Colorado's own state court process, but they shouldn't. And when you're talking about writing this decision and what it must be like for the state court judge, I would like to point out that they were so aware of what SCOTUS was about to do in terms of bending over backwards that they literally quote Neil Gorsuch. Neil Gorsuch, when he was sitting on the federal circuit in Colorado, they quote Gorsuch for the opinion that Colorado gets to decide its own rules about who is qualified or not for the ballot in Colorado. That's a Gorsuch opinion that they quote in the thing. So if Gorsuch had any logical consistency, he would likely uphold the Colorado State Court opinion. But what we're about to see is just how again, hypocritical and unserious the Supreme Court is when it comes to protecting their partisan sugar daddies like Donald Trump.
Yeah, let me read.
Partisan sugar daddies. I need to woosah. I need to woosah. Give me a moment to woosah. Dirty folks. Dirty folks. Dirty folks. Know your soul. Know your soul. We're going to go right back to it. We're going to finish this up. It's only 2 more minutes left. This is, the Democrats told you that if Trump was in office, he would make it an oligarchy, which is impossible. You'd only get 2 terms. But people don't know politics, and they didn't have to even pass Constitution to get out of 8th grade anymore, so how did they know? They told you that he would be a tyrant. They told you that he would be the end of democracy. And meanwhile, while they're telling you Trump is going to do that, they're doing it in your face. They're taking away your right to citizenship by giving it to foreigners. They're taking away the power of your vote by not only giving it to foreigners, but taking it away from Americans. Like there's not people in Denver that might want to vote for Trump. For him not even to be on the ballot, they're taking away your right to autonomy. They're taking away your safety. They're trying to take away your gun so you don't ride on their ass, but they're doing the bullshit that they're doing. They took away your families. Take away your kids, take away your money to pay some fucking debt, but they got $100,000 per illegal immigrant. There's 8 million illegal immigrants so far, and 150,000 coming over the board every fucking month. And then they sit here, turn around from that, and they tell you it's Trump's fault, and Trump ain't even in there. All right, we got the gay out the way. Let's go to the dike.
Read from that because we only saw this because of you pointing it out. So credit where due. They do. They send this up to judge. You know, they know that Justice Gorsuch will almost certainly weigh on this. They say, as then Judge Gorsuch recognized in Hassan, this is the case they're citing, it is a state's legitimate interest in protecting the integrity and practical functioning of the political process that, quote, permits it to exclude from the ballot candidates who are constitutionally prohibited from assuming office. Judge Cordell, I imagine you have the same interpretation that this is not an accident to quote then Judge Gorsuch to possible Justice Gorsuch in possible Supreme Court review.
Yeah, these justices know who their audience is. And their audience is the Supreme Court. They know this is headed that way. And I will tell you, Chris, quite frankly, there should only be 8 justices on the Supreme Court hearing this case when it comes up. And I say that because Clarence Thomas has no business hearing this case. Why?
Let's pause right there. Let's pause right there. Black woman tells you the only black man on the Supreme Court doesn't have a right to speak about anything that. These people are not your friends, bro. These toddlers are not your friends. They hate you. She wants to eliminate the only black man on the Supreme Court, the same way that Colorado omitted the man that they didn't like. This is who you trying to save, black man. Quit being black, be a man. Anyway, let's go. That's crazy.
Why? Because his wife was a major player in the whole insurrection. And he should, if he had principles, recuse himself. But I will guarantee you this: Clarence Thomas will recuse himself when Jenny flies.
This is holiday gifting happiness. Because going back,
I am absolutely sure that black women don't want to see black men happy or educated. I am absolutely positive of that shit. How did Clarence Thomas's wife have a strong input in the insurrection? Did she run up in the White House? Did she pass out flyers or something? Just to do due diligence. Just to do due diligence. Let's check that out. Let's check out her story, because I don't think it's true. Hmm. Jeannie Thomas, let's look at it together. Jeannie Thomas, the wife of Supreme Court
You're
Justice
one of the top
Clarence, testifies before the January 6th
speakers
committee.
8 years, but I first. Could you
Jeannie
please
Thomas, a
mention
longtime GOP
the
activist
Dirty
who's also
Folks
working with Supreme Court
podcast?
Justice
Thank you,
Clarence
Lord
Thomas,
Charles.
testified for several hours
Dirty
on Thursday
Folks.
behind closed doors.
And see, I find it to be hilarious because
Yeah, what's going on?
even if I did behave,
What's going on? That's not what I pushed. There we go. Jeannie Thomas, a longtime GOP activist who's also the wife of Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas, testified for several hours on Thursday behind closed doors before the House Select January 6th committee. The lawyer later released a statement that she answered all of the panel's questions during her closed-door testimony. She left the session more than 4 hours after her appearance began and declined to comment. Right? So what they're trying to say is, hold on. They first asked to interview Thomas about her communications with those pushing a plan to reject the results of the 2020 election, including former President Donald Trump's chief of staff, Mark Meadows, and a key figure in the campaign, John Eastman. Eastman, a conservative attorney, drafted a memo outlining a plan to reject the electoral votes in several states and was an outside legal advisor of President Donald Trump in the late 2020s. A statement by Thomas lawyer Mark Payoetta says she has significant concerns about fraud and irregularities in the election, and she wanted to ensure that they were both investigated. Beyond that, she played no role in any events after the 2020 election results. So what they are trying to say is that a citizen with influence said, yo, the math ain't mathing. At 10 o'clock, Trump was winning. At 2 in the morning, he's losing. Is that math right? And because of that, they're accusing her of interference with January 6th. She wasn't part of January 6th. She just asked, could y'all recount the votes? Everybody asking you recount the votes. If you have a close election in your high school uh council meeting, they're gonna say, "Yo, let's recount the votes." What is that noise? Hold on. It's crazy. My buttons is not working right. Every button I push, something else do it. I put something else and something else come up. Yo, I gotta work on this. I gotta work on the comedy before I say y'all. My bad. Anyway, she played no role. She had no impact at all in anything that happened. They just looking for reasons to get the conservatives off the out the vote. These people are not your friends. Quote unquote black people are not your friends. Not if you heterosexual, tax paying, you're not on parole, you don't need a fat bitch to live with and take a car, drive her up at work. They not for you. They're not. They're literally breaking laws in your face and then accusing the other people of breaking the laws while they're breaking them. I've seen this behavior before. My dad's a boomer and I dated black women, so I've seen this shit all my life. Men, everything's your fault. And if it's your fault, it's your fix. Don't ask women, don't ask gays, don't ask boomers, because boomers act like white women with phalluses and more than likely they were probably gay. Androgynous is gay. Don't listen to people who need chaos in order to have their bullshit. Don't listen to these pastors either. Not no black pastor. Because I guarantee you they got their seminary degree in penitentiary. So they felons. Don't listen to these motherfuckers that need this function in order to flow. Anyway, shout out to Donald Trump. He might be back on the ballot. Shout out to Clarence Thomas. Shout out to Clarence Thomas. Trump might be right back on that ballot. Anyway, appreciate y'all sliding through to the comedy report. Man, we pumping it up over here, man. You know what I'm saying? Can't talk about toddlers all the time, my G. We pumping it up over here. We gonna pump up, man. Let's get to 1,000, bro. Let's get to 1,000. You know what I'm saying? Like on y'all way out the door, man. Sub to the channel. Let's talk about some real shit, man. We out of here, bro.